8:35 she will be joining. Okay. Okay, some basic concepts in operating system during last lecture we discussed. Those are processes, what is process, what is address space, and files, input output subsystem, what is protection in file. Okay. Students, one thing you have to remember, the entire book has taken the Unix as an operating system and they have explained everything. Okay. So theory should be based on some operating system. No, so they have taken Unix operating system and they have explained it. Okay. So wherever you are studying, but in all the operating system, the functions are same only. Okay, except a little, for example, system calls. Okay, we know that if in the program, in our program, any input output statements or any statement which needs to communicate with the hardware is getting executed, automatically the system call will be created by the program. Okay. So that system call, what it will do, it will handled by the operating system. That system call will create a trap program. So that trap program, or we can say trap instruction, that trap instruction will make the processor move from user mode to kernel mode, because this processor should go to kernel mode and then only it has to connect with the input output device and it has to execute the IO operation. Okay. So that system call may differ operating system to operating system. Okay. System calls are just instructions. Okay. So those instructions are not same for all the operating system, that will differ. Like that, some file structure also will differ. For example, Unix and Linux and all, we will not call folder as folder. We will call that as a directory. Okay. So folder should be called as directory. And when you write path, you will not write forward slash. Sorry, yes. In Unix, you will write forward slash. And in Windows, you will write backward slash when you write the file path. So like that, there are a few differences from operating system to operating system. So theoretically, when we study about the operating system, we should take any one of the operating system and we have to see the theory related to that. Okay. So Tenenbaum has taken Unix operating system as a base for this theory. Okay. So in the file system, how the protection would be. So all these are basic concepts. We discuss about the processes. Okay. The process will be created. When it is created, what and all will be created along with that. Okay. Address space will be created. PID will be created. Some resource. Whatever resource or resources are private resource for that process, public resource for that process. So all these will be created when the process is getting created. Okay. You all know what is process. Already many examples I said. Okay. And then address space. If you look at the address space, each and every process currently on execution will have a separate address space. Okay. The address space can be shared by the child process. For example, there is a parent process. It is creating a child process. So there is no separate address space for parent process and the child process. Okay. So child will share the address space of the parent process. Okay. So this address space is per process. Okay. Whether the process is having multiple related processes or child processes, whatever it is. address space is unique for each and every process. Okay. That we discussed. And the range of the address space will also differ. Address space is what? Memory. Okay. So the size of the memory needed for each and every process will also differ. So depending on that, starting from 0 to some range of address would be allocated as an address space for each and every process. That we saw about the address space. And then files. Files are where actually files will be stored. Files are nothing but what you are creating. Okay. For example, you want to write a leave application. So you are creating a file. And then you are saving the file. Where the file will be saved in your computer, you are saving the file without thinking about where it will get saved. It will be saved in your hard disk. Okay, we can call that as a drum also. Okay. So in the hard disk secondary memory only, the files whatever you're creating will be stored. Okay. So the entire file system in one computer is called file system. All the files. Okay. When you're creating the folders and files, what you will do, there will be in each and every operating system, there will be a separate root directory. Okay, that directory or folder. Okay, that root directory, or we can call that as a home directory also. Okay, these root directory, home directory will not be created by user, not by you. Okay, it is automatically by default there in each and every operating system. Okay. So under that root directory, default root directory only, whatever files you are creating, no files or folders, whatever you are creating, that will be stored. Okay. Even you may also create a hierarchical of directories and files. For example, you have created 3 files. One is your name with the personal file. For example, Lena personal file. Okay. Lena academic file. Okay. Lena certificates and extra courses. Okay. So these are the 3 files you have created. 3 files, not 3 files, 3 folders. Okay. In Linux or Unix, it should be called directories. Okay. So 3 folders, which are nothing but directories. 3 directories you have created. Now these 3 directories are going to be in same level, not one within another. Getting it? So now where these 3 folders will be stored, these folders will be stored under the default directory of your operating system. For example, you are using Windows operating system. So under the home directory of the Windows operating system, the home directory or home folder is not created by you. Okay. The folders which are created by you are 3 only, which are those personal and academics and extracurricular. Okay. So these 3 folders only created by you. So these folders will be stored under the default directory of that operating system. Okay. So operating system to operating system, root directory will differ. Remember. Okay. So now remember, assume that under academics, now you got semester 1 result. Okay. So you saved the semester 1 result as a file. Where you will save? You will save under the academics. Okay. Or you may create another folder. Okay. You may create another folder under academics folder. Okay. That could be semester 1 folder. Okay. After completing semester 2, you can create semester 2 folder in the same academic folder. Okay. So like this, you will create your entire file system. Okay. So these files, this entire files will be stored in a hierarchical format. We can say by following tree structure, it will be stored in the hard disk. Okay. So that is about the files you have to know. Wait a second. Okay. And you will not only create files. Okay. You will read files. Read files means you have created semester 1 folder, and within that you saved one file. Okay. My semester 1 result. Okay. So when you want to see that later, you will just by clicking that, you will open the file. Okay. You will not do any changes. You will not delete it. You will not update it. You will not append it. Okay. You will just open and read the file. Okay. So that is called a reading file. So it is not only the function you will perform with file is creating file. You may read the file. You may delete or remove the file, or you can write the file. That means now you just stored the photo in the result, semester 1 result folder. May the PDF of result which you got, that only you stored. Okay. Now later when you open, what you are doing, on that semester 1 PDF image, you will type my semester 1 result. Okay. When you got maybe some date or some data you can write. Okay. Now what you are doing, you are writing on the file. Okay. You may read the file. You can write something on the file. You can delete the file or remove the file. You can read the file also. Okay. So these are the different operations you can perform on the file. Even you can change some content, modification. You can modify the file also. For example, something you have typed in between, you left 1 or 2 sentences, or you want to add. What you will do, you will just insert the content. There, what you are doing, you are modifying the file content. Okay. And even you can append the file also. Append matlab, whatever the content is there already, there you will not make any change. But in the end of the file, some more content you will add. This you should not call as a modification. But actually, the content of the file is getting modified. But here, what actually you did, you appended the file. Okay. So some content you added. Okay. So that also as an operation, file operation, you can do. Okay. So these files, even when you use also, where these files are stored in some hardware, no, in some hard disk. So hard disk is a hardware. Okay. So whenever you read the file, you just click and open the file. But internally, what is happening? That the system will create a system call. Okay. Why it has to create a system call? Because you are asking to use the hard disk when you're opening the file, or when you create the file, or when you delete the file. Whatever you want to do, everything should happen inside one hardware, no? That is hard disk. Okay. So there also, that is also system call. Okay. So whenever the operating system wants to communicate with any hardware, which program wants to communicate, that program will create system call. Okay. System call will create a trap instruction, and then the trap instruction will enable the processor to move from the user mode to kernel mode. So being in the kernel mode, what you asked is, you might have asked to open a file. So file will be opened when the processor is inside the kernel mode. Okay. Why this is happening? Because then only the hard disk intentionally, suppose you want to corrupt the hard disk. You cannot corrupt because directly your user program did not open the hard disk. Okay. So you can't corrupt that. That's why we use what? Operating system. Students, can you all following?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So that is files. Files should be protected. So anything related to file open, file read, file create, file delete, append, anything will call the system call, respective system call. For example, if you want to open the file, there is a separate system call to open the file. If you want to write something on the file, same system call which was used to read the file, no, that will not be used. Another system call. So like this, Unix, no, that has approximately thousands of system calls. Okay, but Windows Win32 API, I did not say about API. No, these system calls, no. Now I said no, open system call, file open system call, read system call, delete system call. So all these system calls will have one interface. Okay, that is called application programming interface. You might have heard API, application programming interface. So every operating system will have that interface. Okay. Now if you take Windows, Windows has Win32 API. Win32 API for 32 bits processor. Okay. So Win32, under that Win32 API only, you will have all the system calls of Windows. Please try to understand. If we talk about Unix, Unix has POSIX, POSIX, POSIX API. Okay. POSIX API, Application Programming Interface. Okay. So Unix has POSIX API, Windows has Win32 API. Okay. So under the POSIX API only, this create file, open file, delete file, read file, all the file related, no, not only file related, all the system calls. Process related system calls, memory related system calls, file related system calls, every system calls, all the system calls will be there under the API, Application Programming Interface. Each and every operating system will have its own API. Okay. In Windows Win32 API, in Linux, we have Unix, we have POSIX API. So under that API only, all these system calls will be there. Okay. If you take Unix, Unix has hundreds of system calls, very less in numbers. Okay. But if you take Windows, Windows has system calls in numbers of thousands. Okay. So that is the difference between, because Unix is what? Command line operating system. Okay. Windows is a GUI operating system, graphical user interface operating system. Okay. So this needs more system calls. Windows needs more system calls. Okay. So these are some basics you have to know about the files. Okay. Don't think that only files will create system call. Okay. There are many category of system calls that we will see. And in this itself, it is there, system calls. So if it is not clear, I will show example of, yes. Tenenbaum, the same book which I shared with you, Tenenbaum. The PPT, no, the PPT is also official PPT of Tenenbaum modern operating systems. Okay. Yes, of course. Yes. Whatever I taught, whatever I'm teaching, that only will come in the questions. Okay. No, I will not give because I don't have any notes. I myself is referring the textbook. Okay. But in the textbook, it is vast, so few points only, which are the important points you have to know, that only I am taking. Okay.
Can you give an example
So,
of what type of question we ask?
now today what I taught, from that I can ask what is address space. Okay. Then I can say write short note on Unix file system. These two questions I may ask. Objective types, if you ask, then objective types, MCQs type could be many. I may ask, even just now I said, no, Unix has dash API. Okay. Windows has dash API. POSIX API. Which one? Unix. Windows Win32 API. Okay. I may ask, when you read the file, when you want to read a file which you created already, a system call will be created, true or false. Also, I can ask. Okay. In Unix, the folder will be called as dash directory. Okay. Each and every process will have unique what? Dash address space. Okay, so the size of the address space is depending on dash, depending on the complexity of the process. Okay, or even in true or false, I may give all the address space will be in same size. No. Okay, address space of each and every process will vary in size. Okay. I may ask address space will be created in dash memory. Which memory? Main memory. Okay. Without considering the virtual memory. Okay. If you consider virtual memory, but generally the address space will be created in main memory. Okay. So you should not write the hard disk or something like that. Okay. Or I may ask a file system will be there in which memory. Okay. Which memory? Not main memory. File system will be there in hard disk, secondary memory. Okay. So like this, questions may come. Okay. These pictures, everything is there, which I'm showing in the PPT. No, I'm showing from all these images are there in the book only, your textbook only. Okay. I'm not referring anything else except that I said no communication, IO and processor IO communication. You remember? There are three type of communication: IO, processor communication, programmed IO, interrupt driven IO, DMA. That was not there in the book. So separately I refer. Okay. I said only that material I will give. Okay. So other than that, till now, whatever I taught, nothing else I taught apart from this book. Okay, everything I taught from this book only, except this three ways of IO communication. Okay. That IO communication you can't refer in this book because that I refer some other material. Okay, that material I have now. Okay, so as a Word file. So that I will share with you. Other things I will not give the notes. Notes I will not give actually. That you do. So material separately I no need to give. Okay, you have to prepare by seeing the material. That is what again and again I am saying. When I am teaching, you just the whatever I am teaching as a short note you have to take. Those who are taking short notes regularly, no, for them it is very easy to refer the book. Otherwise, it is very difficult because when you are referring, you may study all this 1 month later. Okay. That time when you're going through the book, you cannot recollect whatever I taught. Okay. So that's why I said, please take notes, short notes, whenever I am teaching. Or otherwise, this is with the coordination you have to do. This I said in the last semester also. You can coordinate among you, and you can say, okay, first 1 week lecture, there are 3 students, they have to take the notes. Okay. The number of students, for example, I'm saying. Okay. And the next lecture, next 1 week lecture, taking notes is responsibility of another 3 or 4 students. Now, then later or weekly once, if you share, those 3 students share the notes among all, then if, for example, 3 students are writing the same notes, okay, what will happen if one missed any of the points in her perspective, what she or he understood, another could have covered that point. Okay. So like that is the easy way of preparing in degree and post-graduation level also. Exactly whatever we are teaching, that will not be there in the, only that will not be there in the textbook. Textbook will be vast because only the foreign authors book and people who are doing the research also refer that book. Those who are starters now, like you freshers, not knowing anything about the operating system also refer that book. Okay. So the content should be content should be, those who are doing PhD also, they have to refer this book. So the content should be that level, no? Depth of the content will be. So when we are using same book, then only the important basic things we will cover. So then how will you know that what I taught, what I did not teach? That is your responsibility. You have to take notes and then share among you. And even you yourself in Zoom, you can create a meeting and you can share, discuss the points, what you have noted. All those things you have to do. When we studied, we did not have any material. Only the teachers will say the textbook. But of course, the textbooks will be available in the library, physical library, not digital library and all. Weekly once we will go, or otherwise after the lectures, after 5 o'clock, we will go to the library and we know who are very sincere to do all this work. So we will make a group of that. We will sit in the library and our teacher will not say one book. Okay, 3-4 books for operating system. So suppose unit 1 means unit 1 in all the 4 books we will take from the library, we will open and keep. Okay, so everyone will refer and which are the points are there, we will make notes. Making notes is your responsibility. That is not teacher's responsibility in college level. Okay. Programming books and all, there are even Bala Gurusamy, that and all will have only whatever the teacher is teaching. But these are the theory, very depth concept and all will not be there only to the point whatever I'm teaching. So you have to do this. Okay. That is your responsibility. You have to do. When you're doing that, you will get to know many things when you sitting with many of your friends. When you're doing this, you will. But now I shared only one book. Okay. When we were referring many books and all, we will know. Okay. Now also I can remember. Okay, this author's writing pattern would be like this. This author's writing pattern would be like that. We will understand, okay, pattern of writing of the author also we will come to know. Okay. So I am referring only that book, Modern Operating System by Tenenbaum. Okay. Which I shared with you. PDF I shared, that only I refer. Okay. Or simply you can do very simple thing, what you can do, of course, for that also notes you have to just write roughly. In your textbook, PDF I shared, open that at the end of the lecture, open that. Simultaneously during the lecture, you can't do this, okay? open that, there is a highlight, there is an option to highlight, no? Okay, in different colors. So right click the highlight, only whatever I taught you highlight and save. Don't forget to save. Okay, so whatever you're highlighting, that will be automatically saved. Okay, then only that material you can refer. This is very simple way because you have only one textbook, no? So reference book. Of course, you have many reference books, but one is a main book. So I am referring that book only for you. Okay. So in the same material which I shared with you, you can open and whatever points I taught, no, that you can highlight. That is enough. Then when you read, you no need to read other points. Only the highlighted points you can read. Okay, so these are the things you can do. Instead of sitting and again rewriting in hand, if you feel difficult, even this you can do. Okay. But however, you have to work. Simply attending the lecture is, for some of the subject, it will not work. And every teacher will have her own way of teaching. I never put the entire content in the PPT. Okay, PPT may only points. Points means only headings I will keep. PPT should be like that. Okay. And if anything, suppose working of programmed IO, working of DMA, of course, I have to open the, I have to show the diagram and I have to explain. Okay. So other things are theory, you have to point by point when I'm saying you have to make notes, short notes, not one of you, group of you make notes and yeah, later you have to share among you yourself. So these are the things you have to do. Making material and giving on your hand, no, that I will not do. Okay, but I have given the material, study material. You have to work for that, to finding the content. Okay, so at the just before the exam, if you do, you will get angry on the teacher only. Okay, that will not work anything. Okay, see, this teacher has given a content, the book which has a very vast content. I don't have any clue where to refer, what to refer, how to refer, what I have to omit. That and all will come. When it will come? Only just before the exam, if you open and try to find the notes, then it will be like that only. What you have to do? Every day or at least weekly once. But of course, taking notes is every day during every lecture you have to do. Especially in operating system. You have to take notes every day. And then that is your wish. Weekly once you are sharing or every day end of the lecture, you can fix the time 7 to 8. You can share the material. So now and then you have to complete. You should not keep piling up the work. Then it will easily get over. It will not pain you. Okay. So that you have to do. Those who are doing all these systematically, definitely they will score high marks. Those who are only thinking of all these at the just end of the semester, just before the semester, they will suffer. Okay, this is not only for studies, for everything. Even as teachers, initially in the first 1 month, we did not teach much. Okay, at the end of the lecture, we have to rush up. Okay, but also your syllabus for every every subject, starting from the first itself, we have to rush up. Okay, so not only for this, everything it is like that only. Okay, you have to systematically plan and study. You will enjoy the fruit. Otherwise, you will get the thorn. Okay. Is this clear, students? I am referring the book material only. Okay. So a simple one, you can highlight the points, highlight the important points in the book. Okay. But there are also some of the examples extra, I may say. So those examples anyway you have to note down, but not more. Maximum I'm trying to take the examples from book only. So maybe many years I'm taking this subject. Suddenly some example may come in my mind. I may say that. which may not be there in the book. I might have referred that in some other books. So that you have to note down. Okay. Is this clear, students?
Okay, ma'am.
How many of you saw the book, operating system book? How many of you went through after I started to teach? Everybody is first of all having that material PDF which I shared.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, I downloaded
Why?
it from net.
I also got it from net.
Why I shared in a Teams, no? In the Teams files folder का अंदर है ना book?
No, ma'am. There is only recording now.
But I remember I saved the book and I informed to you also. Usually textbook, no, I will save in the files folder of the channel, only the operating system channel. General may you should not go and see. There is a folder called files. Okay. Within that, I usually create a textbook as another folder, and within that I save.
No, ma'am, it is not there.
You checked now? Did you check?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait a second. Let me check.
Yes, ma'am. I also checked. There is not there.
One second. Let me see. I send in unofficial group. Then I send to your CR. Did I send to your CR? No, that is okay. That's okay. But your Glory Ajil,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
did I share with you in in your WhatsApp number? No. No. But I remember somewhere I shared. One second. Wait a second. Okay, students being in the meeting, I couldn't, so I have to check. Okay, but I remember I shared in some mode with you. Okay, I will check. Either it would be in official group, or I may send it to any one of your CR, or I might have saved in the files folder of Teams. Any one, definitely I would have. I remember because with your batch I shared. Okay, I will see that and let you know. Okay. Or otherwise, if not, then I will store that book in the files folder of this channel, operating system channel. Okay, so you start to study. You have to just highlight the points whichever I'm taking, or you can what? You can take the notes also. Okay.
Ma'am, even IO management material.
Sorry? IO. Yes. IO material I did not share. That I remember. I said to you, you all during the lecture, this I did not, this you no need to refer in the textbook. That I remember. But that I did not share with you. That I remember clearly. That also I will share with you. You want to?
How to transform the permanent link of directory.
Okay. Okay, I said the file system, no? File system. This is the entire file system. There will be a root directory. Okay. This root directory, where all these will be, where it will be stored, any one of you, where the file system will be.
Hard disk.
Yes, in hard disk. So depending on the operating system, remember, depending on the operating system, there will be a root directory, but this root directory you will not create. Users will not create. By default, this will be created. This will be there in the operating system. This will vary operating system to operating system. Okay. Here they have shown the Unix file system. Okay. So Unix may that parent, the home file, the directory or folder is called root. Okay. So root directory will be there. Inside the root directory, now here the students, faculty, these two are what? These two are folders you created. Okay. Users created. For this here, you can consider this as our college PC. Okay. So you will also create some directories. Directories mean folder, remember. Faculties will also create folder. Okay. So inside you may also create some other folders or files. Okay. Faculty folder ka andar faculties, there may be more than one number of faculties. So they have created different folders. Okay. And they would have created many subfolders. Only these circles are files. Okay. So under this folder, again inner folder ka under 3 files. Here another grants is another folder. Inside that there are 3 files. So if you look at roughly the entire file system will be like this. Okay. Directories whichever you created. So only this will be the default one. All other user created. Okay. So can be a directory, subdirectory, and again inner directory, innermost directory. And in this innermost directory will have many files, one or more files. Okay. So that will be like this. Okay. So the file system will be like this. Now this is system call. Okay. To understand the system call, I have taken a single, this is the example which is given in your book. Okay. Read system call. Okay. What is that? Read system call. So this read system call, you will not create. Any input statement is there in your program. Automatically, it will call the read system call. Okay. So when we are saying that it is a single system call, but actually this each and every system call will be executed by taking many steps, not a single step. Okay. It will be executed by many steps. Okay. So now you look at this diagram. The system call is single system call, but how it will be executed? By taking 11 steps, it will be executed. By taking 11 steps, it will be executed. Okay. So if you look at this, again, there are 3 parameters in this system call. Read is a system call. FD, buffer, n bytes, all these 3 are parameters of system call. Okay. System call will be in the format of function, how you function or method when you write in any of the programming language. The function name will be there. If the function has any parameters within the bracket, the parameters will be written. If it is a empty function, then there will not be any parameters. So syntax, if you see, the function call syntax will be system call syntax will be function only, function syntax only. Okay. Now this is one system called read fd buffer n bytes. This has 3 parameters. Okay. The first one specifies the file, because when you say read, read from where, from which file, that you have to specify file name. Okay. So file is the first parameter. The second parameter, after you read, where the data should kept, buffer. So the first one is a content, file name. It's not address. The last is also the value. First and last 2 parameters are values. The middle one is the address. Okay. So address of the buffer. Okay. From where the read data should be stored. Okay. So these are 3 parameters. Okay. First one is file name. Second one, buffer. Third one, number of bytes you have to read. Okay. So what is the first parameter? File is the first parameter. Second one is a pointer to the buffer. We can say here. Pointer means address. Okay. Pointer to some memory area. So that is called buffer. But here it is, when I'm saying pointer, that should be address of the buffer. Okay. And the third will be number of bytes to read. How much data from this file you want to read. Okay. So this is a system call. How the system call will be executed by taking 11 steps, it will be executed. Okay. The first step, first 1 to 3. See here, the number is given. 1 second, I just. Yes. Okay. See, 1 second. Now time is 12:25. Ketaki, have you joined?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why didn't you remind me? I'm just.
I was waiting for your lecture to end, ma'am.
Okay. Athar, you want to ask anything, you just message me. Okay. She wants to talk, your senior, her name is Ketaki. She wants to talk about some event under cultural association. Okay. Okay. Ketaki, you can take over. You can start.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Hi, guys. So I'm Ketki Deshpande, Joint Cultural Secretary of the Cultural Association. And the Cultural Association has come up with the event, especially for the freshers, which is Talent Mania. It consists of 2 rounds. First is the talent round, where the freshers, like you guys, will just have to submit a video of you performing your talents. All right. Just basic anything. It can be singing, dancing, or if you all can write a story or paint, anything which you can show us will be considered. And the second will be, if you get qualified for the second round, you'll be asked personality-based questions. So especially this event is for the freshers, so we can break the barrier between SYs and TYs and you guys and interact. So I hope each one of you participate from this IT, because since I'm from your class only, so I hope you guys participate with great number. And the title of Mr. and Miss Freshers do come to our department only. So I hope you all participate. If you all have any doubt, you all can contact me. That is it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, students, somebody asked something, no? Kaifalia, are you have any doubt? Okay, I'll leave, okay? Students, all of you can leave, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.